Hey Geminis, and welcome to your March 2018 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. And this month is kind of hard for everyone. It's a little bit overwhelming because we have to really release a lot, especially for like you and Sagittarius, Gemini, because we've had Saturn move sign. It's left that opposition angle out of your experience. And now what happens is that entire cycle coming from 2017 and 2016 comes to a close here, because even though Saturn has moved into Capricorn and you have like this big release, you know that something that was really threatening you then has subsided. There's still the cycle within you that supported that, or the cycle within you that reacted to that, which still has to be let go of. There is also a very strong transformation I feel happening with your reactions in general this month, Gemini. The sort of anger reactions or volatile reactions, I feel, come to a point where you have to reassess things and you have to understand how to thrive more and how to breathe more, because I do sense like this overwhelming sense of like inflammation or anger, like redness, like sort of just a pent up Mars energy that feels like it's like about to explode over the surface. So definitely something that helps you channel your emotions or your anger into a more constructive way would be wonderful this month. The Chariot is your central theme, so you're about to have a very big move or a very big transition in your life. And oftentimes when this happens, it pulls in a lot of emotional energy just because you're very catalyzed and you're very activated. And the energies present in your reading, Gemini, also are a little bit, I wouldn't call them clashing, but it's kind of like a hot and cold type of thing. You have really active, forward-moving energies such as like the Chariot and the Three of Wands and the Knight of Wands. And then you have more like passive, dour types of experiences like the Hermit and Eight of Cups. And then you have like the Hierophant and Five of Swords and Queen of Swords, all just kind of throwing in a lot of different experiences. So this month to me feels very eccentric, very eclectic, and hard to really categorize. I feel like indecisiveness could be prevalent, but you will, by the end of March, know what to do. I think going into March, there's like a really strong fear that you might fall back into an old pattern, or you might fall back into an old illness, or even an old difficult relationship with your health. But I definitely feel that March gives you what you need to get past it through maybe having like a very old experience. For example, if you have always felt ill when like visiting your family, or you've always been triggered in some way by old familial experiences, I feel that you may visit your family in this month and see that and understand how to not have that reaction any longer. Like even if your family, just again as a hypothetical situation, causes a sort of difficult like health reaction or emotional reaction within you, you see deeper than that and you realize how your energy is interacting with that and sort of overdoing itself, over leveraging itself, and for that reason maybe the health falls down. And I think that you can kind of get into your own reactions as a person and learn how to still be in this type of environment while not having that reaction any longer. And it's kind of complicated, as most of the signs are this month, and I'm trying to do like relatively shorter readings this month just because too much analysis and too much over-exertion on small synchronicities of life isn't so good. March ultimately, Geminis, when we're in Pisces time here, sometimes it's good to get really deep with things, but I feel in this year cycle, we really just need to be able to let go. We really just need to be able to sit with ourselves and exist and let our bodies do what they need to do. Like toxins can definitely come out during this time. Your skin can be aggravated. Your body's means of disposing of toxins can be like overwhelming right now, just because there's an emotional, physical, and spiritual, energetic release of toxins happening. So if you then also start to really focus on toxins or difficult experiences, it can kind of overwhelm your body. So for that reason, it's kind of good to just be light with some of these readings, or light with your like in-depth shadow work if that's possible. And then after equinox time, after the 21st of March, you can kind of jump back into a more saturated version of this, okay? So anyway, to get into your week-to-week Gemini, week number 1, you have Queen of Swords reversed, rooted down by 5 of Swords. So you are definitely reassessing your identity as a person. Queen of Swords is a Gemini card for sure. It represents the air element, logical capacity, formulaic understanding of life, and the ability to not falsely maintain something that isn't working anymore, like being able to have the sword straight up, not biased, and able to be at your disposal. Something about that has fallen in reverse, though. I feel that Geminis have had maybe an emotional experience in their lives where they used this formulaic ability to cut off a tie, and then after you got past it, you're like, oh my gosh, I needed to maintain that. I was too quick to cut somebody off, or I was too quick to cut a part of myself off. In fact, sometimes with Queen of Swords reversed, I tend to interpret that like, instead of Queen of Swords like cutting somebody else out of their life, it's like cutting yourself out of somebody else's life, or cutting yourself out of the equation. So definitely look back over this last year cycle and understand how you've cut yourself off, or how you cut ties too quickly with something, and see how that's sort of motivating your path and pushing you into this kind of strange system of walking away and maintaining symbiotic relationships or connections at the same time. Like not necessarily being with people or in the presence of people, yet still feeling their energy very strongly. That's rooted down by 5 of Swords, so I feel that maybe somebody cut you off in the past in a very kind of traumatic, too quick, too hasty type of way, and that sort of became commonplace for you, and now you may be implementing a difficult person from your past's way of coping or way of maintaining their own sanity or satiability. So think about that. Think about how like romantic connections or even familial or platonic relationships that went south in your past, how did that influence you towards maintaining relationships now? I think that one of the most rewarding things right now is to be able to release that and to sort of wake up into a new version of connection with people where you're not necessarily implementing what you may consider to be wisdom of the past that in reality just leads you to cutting yourself off, okay? Second week Gemini's 8 of Cups, you're down by the Hermit reversed. I love those energies together. I get those energies together pretty often. You know, the 8 of Cups is kind of like a minor arcana hermit, so it's just a nice, I think, validation from the universe that getting back to yourselves this month, Gemini, is a wonderful reward and a wonderful experience. The Hermit's reversed, so it might sort of feel like I've been doing this for like the last 2 years. When will I be able to connect with like my soul tribe? Why do I have to feel so alone? Whenever someone is feeling too alone or too isolated, it tends to be as a result of exactly what I was saying at the beginning, Gemini, of having cut yourself off in a way that can't lead to positive growth in the first place. So like over pruning dead weight, like if you over prune a plant and it just takes it much longer to grow in the first place, there can need to be time alone to see that, because sometimes when we get into really wonderful relationships or make really incredible connections, like that interaction can distract us from ourselves. So definitely think about how you can start to form new nice romantic or friendship connections without being distracted from your own growth, without letting people take your growth from you. Because in the third week, Geminis, you have Knight of Wands rooted down by 6 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles has been coming up so much this month. I think that it's kind of like card of the month. And that's sort of exactly what I was speaking about. Creating these symbiotic ties with people where you're both growing more through each other's connection, but if the connection weren't there, like growth would be completely inhibited. Basically, it's codependency. It's compromise in a more healthy way, like learning compromise, the whole elements of give and take, dominant, submissive experiences of life, and how those are actually elusive, like how somebody who looks like they're giving can actually be taking, how somebody who looks like they're taking can actually be giving. It's important, Gemini. That's why I think the Hermit is reversed in your reading and 8 of Cups is coming up, because there's something with somebody, even if they're not in your life anymore, that like their energy is leading to your growth and your energy is leading to their growth. It's like that tie has to be cut, but you might be denying it for some reason with Queen of Swords reversed. This inherent part of your own personality, this Queen of Swords energy, is being denied or blocked because I think that you're afraid that perhaps if you cut off this person's energy from you, that your growth will be inhibited and growth feels so important, you know, with the Hierophant and the Chariot and the Hermit coming up in your spread. You know, growth is sort of one of the main key words here. So I think that, you know, you have to step into Knight of Wands territory to get past this sort of spontaneous, adaptable energy, like the really kind of younger, masculine fire energy, I think would do Geminis really good. Affirming to yourself that I can adapt to my own environment. I don't need other people to create an environment for me. Likewise, other people can adapt to their environments. I don't feel that I have to create their environments because for some reason I feel that I owe them something. It's important to not deny your adaptability for the sake of codependency. You know, so in that sense, other Knight of Wands territory, such as taking a weekend getaway, having a trip somewhere, allowing yourself to start the new creative project, trusting that your creative ability is strong enough to generate the reality that you want, will be the direct antidote to this codependent Six of Pentacles, lack of compromise, false symbiotic connection that you have in your life right now. In the fourth week, Geminis, the Hierophant reversed, rooted down by Three of Wands reversed. These two cards have been coming up a lot this month as well. And it's so interesting because the Hierophant has really had a major growth within me. And I think a lot of other readers on YouTube here too have been really having new experiences with the Hierophant. And for me, I've really come into a place where the Hierophant to me represents a locked door or represents a pathway that is not quite accessible yet. And simultaneously, it also represents the key. So a lot of times with other major arcana cards, it can be more like the imposing of a path and the inevitability of a path coming onto your experience. But with the Hierophant, to me, it's like an optional locked off path that you kind of have to do a bit of searching for the key, and then you manually have to kind of go and unlock the door. Like with sometimes with like the Lovers, with that crossroads energy, or the Sun, or the Star, or the World, I feel that those types of cards are a very obvious path that you can just jump right into and go, you know. But the Hierophant takes a little bit of finesse, or it takes a little bit of puzzle solving to open up the path. So for you, Gemini, what paths like that are present in your life right now? What feels not quite accessible, but you know that the key is lying around here somewhere, and you know that you have to get there because it's not open for you? So in more layman's terms, I feel that there may be a new career or a new adventure or journey that you need to go on that you don't feel like you can do, whether it be logistical or fear that it's going to cut off this relationship tie that's very codependent. What do you want to do that you don't feel that you can, basically? And can you perhaps seek out your key to actually get on this path in a new way here in March, especially right after that equinox? I am, again, proud to see like that you guys have Knight of Wands during the equinox week. It really says to me that you're not going to be cutting yourself off anymore. Rather, you're going to really embrace your inner masculine fire energy and really jump into your thrust of life archetype. But right when you're there, there may be a period of time where you have to do a bit of puzzle solving and a bit of finding the key, because in that fourth week, that is rooted down by Three of Wands reversed. So you may feel that people have their back turned on you. You may feel that it's too far on the horizon, this goal that you have. And that's just kind of an inevitability with the Hierophant, especially reversed. It can feel too far away. Like, you know what the path is, you know that it's there, but it feels just more, even more so than inaccessible, it feels too distant. So I think that the main goal of March, Geminis, to put it most simply, is to board the Chariot and cover the distance. You know, get to the horizon. And I really think that it's as simple as that. You have this whole background experience that feels a little bit austere and a little bit unseen and unsure, but wrapping it all together, Geminis, you have the Chariot. So it's like this whole experience isn't very nice and isn't very enjoyable. It gives you a lot. It makes you more adaptable. It makes you learn about yourself and how to not cut yourself off. But also, right when you do that, you have this Chariot energy coming in to drive away from it all, to be the vehicle of change and transition in your life. So my main question for you, Gemini, and I feel like the main question to yourself for this month to really hitch off this transition in a wonderful way is, where is my Chariot, and what distance do I need to cover in the Chariot? And when should I leave? When should I depart? Okay? Try to not get too deep with yourselves this month. You're beautiful. You're shining more so than you realize. You're just still Saturnized. You're still a bit activated by Saturn. So you might be still very self-critical. You know, find the Chariot, find the key, establish what's on the horizon, and then allow yourself to move towards it. Okay, Geminis, I love you guys so much. I so appreciate your viewership. If you would like to book a private reading with me, you can click the center of your screen. Also, you can check out the 2018 Year Ahead playlist. I think that those readings are really wonderful. And if you haven't subscribed, liked, or commented, I would so appreciate that. Much love, and I will be talking to you guys in April. Bye.